What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
All right, how's it going?
Good. Looking for float number 3, Little Rascals.
Just go straight up this way. It'll be off to your left-hand side, a few up.
Good.
Okay.
Here we are.
Yep, I think I thought what we would do is put Cipes in the middle, if you want, and then everybody can be around the outside of it, and they're putting the equipment on.
Okay, great.
And if you,
We're here at the Crew of Little Rascals parade here in New Orleans. This is our float. We're just getting ready. Everybody's excited. There's a lot of energy moving around. Everybody's stoked and happy to be here. And the main reason is for the kids. This is the kids parade here in New Orleans, Mardi Gras scene. The kids parade. We're all kids.
What are we doing today?
Parade, KLR parade.
Parade?
Yeah.
And then after the parade, what's everyone doing? Sleeping.
Crashing out.
Thawing for 6 months.
Yeah.
Right? Jack, is there anything you don't do?
I don't wash windows.
You been to sleep last night?
Oh yeah, I got good sleep. I woke up at 3:30. Maureen was sorting T-shirts. I said, "Are you still awake?" She said, "Yeah, I'm probably gonna be awake a while." We've been out here since 5:30. It was 34 degrees. I had on layer after layer after layer, and I didn't have enough clothes on. Now I'm sweating.
The Grand Marshal.
Please stop the music.
My name is Jack Spittler, Sr., and I was the founder of the crew 25 years ago.
It is a children's organization here in New Orleans, and it's for kids, and it's a nonprofit children's organization. We have a 4-mile street parade that's happening this Sunday, and we just did our ball on Thursday, tableau ball with a full orchestra, and perform mostly like the adult crews, but just all the positions are filled by younger children, and it ranges from age 2 to 18.
Yeah, the combination of the Little Rascals and our music is a perfect fit because it's music for the kids, and we're all kids, no matter what your age is.
Well, when I moved here, my wife and I both are from out of state. When we moved here, there wasn't a lot for kids to do in Mardi Gras. And having a brand new family, we wanted to get our kids involved, but at the time, about the only thing kids could do would be the few 5 or 6 little kids that were in the adult crews. And so we decided that we would just start one of our own, and we didn't realize what all was involved. It's much more complex than we thought. But we went in, as I say, the bumblebee does, you know, who aerodynamically can't fly, but he does anyway because he doesn't have ears. Well, we didn't listen to anybody say we couldn't do it. And our first year we were very small, but we had a lot of good people that were helping us. We have an advisory board. Dr. Alton Ochsner from Ochsner Hospital was one of our advisors, and he said, "Let me give you one piece of good advice. If you're going to do it for kids, make sure that all kids can participate, regardless of their socioeconomic background or their ethnicity or anything else. Try to fix it where anybody who wants to can be a part of it." And so we were integrated from the very first day. We had kids from Children's Hospital, New Orleans Adolescent Hospital. We had kids that the parents sponsored, and we tried to make it where all kids could participate, keep the dues low, keep the operation simple, and mimic as much as we could the larger Mardi Gras crews, but try to make it special for kids.
Yeah, they're part of the Crawl Your Young. In November, we have a coronation where we actually crown the king and queen for that year, and we announce who will be filling the positions and such. And the only position that's filled based off a list is the king and queen position, and all the other positions just kind of, you know, if we have 4 kids sign up to be a lady in waiting, then we have 4 ladies in waitings. If we have 2 sign up, then we only have 2. We typically have 6 maids and dukes, and then the king and queen, a captain, and behind the king and queen are pages in attendance, and then we have some other positions for the smaller girls, the ladies in waitings, and the flower girls, and then there's heralds and royal guards. So there's quite a few different positions that they can fill, plus that's just the court, and then we also have crew.
Playing at the Children's Hospital was very eye-opening, and a major confirmation that music does heal and it does inspire people, and that I need to use this music to truly communicate and heal the youth and people in general, but especially kids, because they really respond to the music and they really get the message. Even if they don't understand the words, they feel the vibration, and they felt the vibration at this children's hospital, and we just had a lot of fun, and we played and wrote songs, and I witnessed the kids come alive more and smile and move, because these are kids that are bedridden and have oxygen masks, and who knows what their illnesses were, but they got to kind of escape from whatever illnesses that brought them to this hospital, and the music allowed for them to escape and go to another place and have fun.
That was amazing, very touching, very kind of pause and have to absorb the moment. It was just amazing to see those kids that, you know, will probably remember that for the rest of their lives.
All right, tell me about who had
The toss-up, I definitely believe the biggest kid in there was Cipes. He enjoyed himself, but I think we all had a good time.
Well, you know, it started way back in the 1800s, and Mardi Gras actually is Fat Tuesday. It's the day before Lent, and so it is set each year as being 47 days before Easter, and it's the beginning of the Lent season. And I guess way back when, someone decided one of the good things that you give up for Lent is beef, and so that was one of the, when they talk about carnival, you know, carne being meat, it was one of the things that you gave up for Lent. And so people giving up something on Wednesday, that they tried to get as much of it into their system as they could on Tuesday, and so it became known as Fat Tuesday, which is Mardi Gras, Tuesday Fat. And so Mardi Gras was just a time of celebration. It probably started out because of its reference to things having to do with religion. You know, was thought of as a religious holiday or a religious activity, but really it's not. Maybe Easter sets the date, but generally it's just a time to have a lot of fun, and New Orleans is the place that's known for that, and it gives them a good reason to party. And New Orleans doesn't need a lot of reasons to party. You know, if it rains, it's a time for a party. But it grew, and now there's something like 65 balls and parades. But for the last 25 years, we have been the only one for children. And our children start at 18 months old and go right on up to 19 years old.
The court positions and the crew positions, the kids of the crew will actually be on floats, and then there'll be marching bands, there'll be dance teams, military teams, horseback. There's horseback Indians that ride in our parade. So the parade is, you know, our crew is the core of it, but then there's, you know, a bunch of different organizations that fill it up. So it's a 4-mile street parade. So we have quite a few units, I think over 100 units.
Walking around Bourbon Street is like walking straight into the past, you know, or maybe not even the past, into a whole nother planet, whole nother world, at least another country. There's no other place like Bourbon Street, or New Orleans for that matter. But Bourbon Street and the French Quarters, it's like no other place. It's got so much culture and roots and freedom. There's people just, you know, there's just a vibration of freedom down there. People walking around drinking beer, dancing, making music, being loud. There's a band on every corner. I could very much enjoy living there one day.
And we try to get our name out as much as possible. It's open to everyone, and the dues are relatively inexpensive. We started the crew 25 years ago with dues of $125, and today they've grown to $125. So it's real easy for an entire family to have a lot of their kids in it. And for those who are, I don't want to say, well, special needs might be one way to put it. We like to think of them as children who are on the downside of advantage. For those kids, we try to get corporate sponsorships. Therefore, we're able to have people ride who otherwise might not have an opportunity to participate in something like this. We provide their costumes and all of the expenses needed for their throws and so forth. And so for that one activity, the ball, and then one activity, the parade, we try to think of all kids as special, and we don't make any distinction between those who are being sponsored by an organization or those being sponsored by their parents. And on those two occasions, they're just kids, and they're just all intermingled with you know, that's not one special float just for special kids and another float for others. They're just, on that day, they're all the same.
I've been in it since year one. I was princess when I was 18 months old, first year, and then queen at 10, and I filled most of the positions. I haven't filled the maid position, but I was queen and then returning queen, and then I started working backstage, and I've been doing that since I was 16, I think, 15, 16, so.
Well, we like to encourage groups that kids might find interesting. We have it's a family activity. We parade on Sunday, which is the safest day of the week. We parade in the middle of the day, which is the best time of day. And we're one of the first parades of the Mardi Gras season, which is the best time before a lot of tourists get into town and so forth. So it's very family oriented. A lot of families out on the parade route, tens of thousands of people come out to see us. We're on TV, and what they see is a bunch of kids just having a great time. We have a website, crewoflittlерascals.com with a K. And we also have those spots occasionally on TV and radio, and we try to get a lot of word out by word of mouth. We don't do a lot of advertising, but we're very fortunate to have kids who have so much fun they just want to keep coming back. In fact, we have second generation kids now. We have kids that have grown up in the crew, become adults, gotten married, had kids, and their kids are now in the crew.
The main thing about the ball was that all the little kids were really just happy and kind of got to play in a fairy tale. They got to participate in again, another kind of escape from reality and a place to just go be free and dress up and have fun and throw beads. And I think that's what Mardi Gras really is about. It's about a celebration, and it's cool because the Little Rascals crew, the crew of Little Rascals, is the kids' celebration, just basically for life. You know, celebrating life and dancing and singing and throwing beads and coming together. It brings people together.
But the unique thing about Cipes, and I've said this many, many times, and I've said this to you and to him, his music is different in that it's interesting both to little kids and to adults. We all find his music just extremely pleasing and catchy, and I'll find myself humming the song, you know, at work and realize what I'm doing. And my grandson, 3 years old, walking around the house telling his mom, "Wait a minute, Mom, here it comes, here it comes. Okay, together let the light shine." And it's universal music, and it's just good for everybody. It doesn't matter your gender, your race, your age. It's the kind of music that I think is universal because it just pleases everybody. And that's why we're proud to have him offer to be a part of our parade this year and be our Grand Marshal. We were just tickled to death. He told us how pleased he was and how thankful he was. We told him how honored we were. You know, really, it's an amazing thing for us. And I hope we can have him back more often. I wouldn't care if he was here every year. That would be great. He could be our official Grand Marshal.
on and on. We're going on and on. Loving me and loved by you. Loving me and loved by you. Loving me and loved by you.